Hey everyone, Ryan with the homesteadconsultant.com here. I'm going to be putting in some trellises today, and I wanted to show you how I do that and why I do that, what the process looks like, and what the different parts and pieces look like as I do it. For this cattle panel trellis system, I use a 16-foot trellis, and I use 3 T-posts per trellis. I like to use at least 6-foot T-posts, ideally 6.5 or even better, but I'm going to get started pounding these in. Now these are spaced at about 6 feet 8 inches. At 6 feet 8 inches, that gets me in the middle, so I'm not ending up hitting these edge pieces here. Now that these are pounded into a consistent depth, I'm going to go get the cattle panel. Now that I've got the cattle panel in place, first of all, it's a lot easier with 2 people, so do that if you can. Also, once I've got it in place, I'm going to get it at the right height up off the garden bed, which is about 8 inches, and then I'm actually going to fold it up and connect it with these clips. So with these clips that are for T-posts, come in a bag like this. You can get them at Tractor Supply, Co-op, Amazon, wherever. These go around the back side of the T-post, and then I'm able to wrap them on. I start on one side and then I work my way over to make sure that I'm an even height all the way across. Here's an arched trellis that I put in my orchard last year. You can see the blackberry on the left and the grapes on the right are still kind of filling out this space, and it's early spring, so the leaves have not come out significantly yet. However, once this fills out, basically it'll be a giant arch of greenery and flowers at certain times of the year. So it'll be really, really pretty. You can see here that I put the arch, I started it about 12 inches off the ground. Now that works really well for blackberries like I have here, or for grapes like I have on the other side. But in a garden where you're going to be growing tomatoes and things on it, I would actually lower that so it's about 6 inches, between 6 to 8 inches off the ground, so they have something to grab on earlier. Here is a cattle panel being used horizontally, and it is being used for blackberries in this case, and you can see the number of plants that are in there. These plants have not fully leafed out or flowered yet, so when they do, this basically becomes a really filled out green wall, so you can barely even see through it once those leaves come out fully. This works really, really well for us. Basically, I'm able to manage my blackberries in such a way that we get very, very high production off of them. The other benefit with these trellises is because of the material that they're made out of, they're extremely durable. So you don't have issues where you have to redo trellises over time. because they're so durable, it's really unnecessary. So other things that you could grow on a trellis other than blackberries, you could do raspberries, grapes, hardy kiwi, or passion fruit, and pretty much anything else that you can think of that would vine, especially perennial vining things, they're excellent for. But in the garden, they're excellent because you can do things like bring your tomatoes, you can grow them up and then attach them as they go, or weave them in and out as they go, which is way better than tomato cages. If you've ever used tomato cages, they're almost useless. And any other type of trellis that I've used, I've had to replace over time. Whereas these cattle panel trellises basically are good, they'll last my lifetime for sure. So I like to use these for pretty much everything, from my orchard to my garden. In the garden, things like tomatoes, cucumbers, vining squash, and even your peppers, your pepper plant, if they grow straight up, you can actually tie them to this as they grow, and that will give them all the support they need. So you can grow say a cucumber or a tomato up and kind of over, and tie it higher up, and then in between, and you can do another cucumber or tomato plant over here and tie it across the top. And then in the middle between those, you can put a pepper plant that you actually tie a little bit lower. So you're stacking functions in space. So you use this whole space, and you can plant different plants, vegetables, and things closer to each other in the garden. And then let's say your pepper plants here, your tomatoes here, and then in between that you could put greens or smaller leafy vegetables below. So you can actually fill out an entire row in your garden by doing that. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video on how to make your own cattle panel trellises and arches. Please like and subscribe to my videos. It would help me out a lot, and you'll get useful videos on how to do all kinds of homesteading projects.